Om Saraswati Vidmahe Brahmaputriye Dhimahi Tanno Devi Prachodayat. Om Saraswati Vidmahe Brahmaputriye Dhimahi Tanno Devi Prachodayat. Om Saraswati Vidmahe Brahmaputriye.
I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, jump, clap. I'm so happy today. Jump, clap, spin, stomp, stomp, hey. I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, and nothing's gonna bring me down today.
I can sing and dance.
I can hang out with my friends.
I can draw a picture of the sky.
I can spin around.
I can go upside down.
Even if it's hard, I wanna try.
I wanna try. I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, jump, clap. I'm so happy today. Jump, clap, spin, stomp, stomp, hey. I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, and nothing's gonna bring me down today. What if it rains?
No, 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 I can dance in the rain.
What if it's cold?
I'll have hot chocolate to drink.
All right, glad you could join me again. We got another episode of Just Say No Art, JSN Art. So I hope you're going to enjoy this. I'm trying to lighten up a little bit. Mostly we're heavy with the news, and this time we're going to celebrate a little bit, and we're going to focus on a particular individual who I find very outstanding and has done a lot of work with the Palestinian people. I'm sure all you people who have young children recognize her and know her. That's Ms.Rachal. She is a booming YouTube star, and she's watched all over everywhere, PBS, all kinds of stations have interviewed her. She's pretty amazing, and she's pretty interested in helping Palestinian children. So we're gonna go through some of her clips. She's got one that I really enjoy. It's got this double amputee young girl, and she just has a little girl dancing and smiling and laughing, and it just warms my heart. And Ms.Rachal is, to me, very much kind of a Mother Teresa or saint type. I mean, the work she's doing is amazing. She helped the Palestinians save a soccer field that the Israeli army was going to bulldoze, and she's done all kinds of great things. So I know you're going to enjoy this. I enjoyed making it, and this is going to be a multi-part series, as I usually do on something, because I want to cover her thoroughly, and I know it's going to be an enjoyable show. So thank you for joining me again. JSN Art. Let's get on with our show.
Let's go back to sleep, Rahaf. We're so tired.
This is Ms.Rachal, hanging out with her new friend Rahaf.
Ms.
Ms.Rachal is like YouTube's Mr. Rogers, with millions of subscribers and billions of views.
Can you nod yes?
And Rahaf is a 3-year-old double amputee from Gaza. She lost her legs when her home was bombed, and months later was medically evacuated to the U.S.
إحنا رايحين على أمريكا عشان نكمل العلاج.
Ms.Rachal saw a video of the little girl, now living with her mom and a host family in Missouri, watching her show.
She's just so precious, hopping like a bunny, and she was kind of hopping on the couch.
And arranged to have Rahaf come visit her in New York. Rahaf is part of a new group of fans Ms.Rachal discovered last year, refugees of the war in Gaza.
I was tagged in a video of a toddler and a brother and a sister watching in a tent, and I saw the toddler swaying and the little girl smile, and I was just so touched that I could bring a little bit of joy to them during unimaginable circumstances.
Did you know that you had this audience?
No, I was completely surprised. Someone wrote, "This made me realize that these kids are like mine, and like ours. And I know so many parents that enjoy our show feel the same way. They say as a mom, I just think about, I see my babies.
All children are worthy.
She's posted more and more about Gaza as the war has gone on, highlighting the humanity.
The bullying is so bad. It's so bad. But I can handle this.
You seemed very emotional about the bullying that you said you'd gotten for speaking out.
The idea that caring for one group of children means that you don't care for another group of children is false, and it's so hurtful because I care so deeply for all kids.
In April, an advocacy group called Stop Anti-Semitism called her a mouthpiece for Hamas.
A group accused you of essentially acting as a foreign agent and asked, for the Attorney General to investigate you for spreading propaganda.
Obviously, that's not true. I care deeply about all children, Israeli, Palestinian, Jewish, Muslim, Christian. I wouldn't be Ms.Rachal if I didn't speak up for them and speak up for all of them.
This is a prayer for all the children.
Ms.Rachal has also used her platform to express grief over the deaths of Israeli children and said she's met with the family of hostages still in captivity.
Oh, she's keeping the walker with her.
Here in the U.S., Rahaf was fit for prosthetics and has learned how to walk again. A group called Palestinian Children's Relief Fund helped her and her mom get out. But her dad and two brothers are still in Gaza.
ورهف محظوظة كتير طبعا إنه رهف قدرت تطلع بس في أطفال تانيين لسه موجودين بغزة وبتمنى إنه هدول الأطفال إنه يطلعوا ويتعالجوا زي رهف. طبعا في أطفال كتير لسه ما زالوا طبعا تحت الركام. أنا بشوف هذا الإشي طبعا لأنه بشوف أولادي كيف مجرد ما يحكوا مع رهف ولا حتى يشوفوها إنه ماسكة خبزة ولا بتاكل بصيروا يسألوا فيها. طبعا هذا الإشي كتير بوجعني.
Anything is possible for Rahaf, and she has healthy food, and she has clean water, and she has wonderful medical care. This girl is thriving. We have to do this for all kids because they all deserve that.
Were you ever worried? Because even before you spoke up, it was a hornet's nest of controversy. The idea of speaking up for, let's face it, Palestinian children after October 7th.
Yeah, I was worried, and I was worried that I'm not an expert in that area, but I knew that I'm an expert in child development. I have 2 masters in education. I've worked with children my whole life for 20 years. So I knew that what I was seeing was wrong. 0 to 3, the brain, it's such a critical time. If you're exposing children to trauma and malnutrition during that time, it can have effects for a lifetime. And I'm thinking about all those little ones who aren't getting that chance. And don't we as grown-ups in this world have a responsibility to give all children that chance? I don't believe that deep care and that responsibility ends at our own children.
I want to play a little video. It's a video of the brothers. I know you know this well, Maha and Malik, who posted this video.
Hello, Ms.Rachal. How are you? Cinderella from Gaza.
Thank you for the love. I really appreciate that. I'm sending you love back.
Can you tell our story?
Okay, Ms.Rachal, this obviously still brings you to tears.
I see them like I see my son, and the fact that they could have everything they need and it's miles away. It's so frustrating, and I just wish we could wrap them all up in love and give them everything they need, and we could. That's what's so painful. It moves me beyond words that I could bring a little bit of joy in the midst of unimaginable suffering, that I could be there for them during a genocide.
There has been a backlash to you. And of course, you've spoken out about the Israeli children, the infants and the toddlers who were wounded, who were kidnapped even on October 7th. And that doesn't seem to satisfy the critics.
I have so much empathy for an Israeli mom waiting for her child to come home. And I have so much empathy for the people of Gaza losing their families. I feel for everyone. And I know who I am. And I think the backlash, it's painful, but then you have to be like, I know who I am and I know what's right.
Why can't Ms.Rachal talk about Gaza's dying children? I had a conversation about this with another journalist, and I want to share some of it with you. So, Ms. Rachel, she's a super popular children's educator. And as you might expect, she loves kids and advocates for them on her Instagram and in interviews. Like, she's talked about Israeli children taken hostage in the October 7th attack, and she's talked about children affected by famine in Sudan. But then she started talking about Palestinian children in Gaza. Since October 2023, about 16,500 children have been killed in Gaza. That's according to the Gaza Health Ministry. And once Ms. Rachel started talking about those kids, critiques started to pop up. One notably from a privately funded pro-Israel advocacy organization called Stop Anti-Semitism. They even asked the DOJ to investigate if she was being funded by Hamas. If Ms. Rachel, the kids show host, was being funded by Hamas. The New York Times even followed up with Ms. Rachel to confirm the claim. For the record, she denies being funded by Hamas.
To me, it's not surprising, actually, that even Ms. Rachel was accused of being funded by Hamas, because we actually see this as a consistent playbook among those who are trying to discredit voices who are speaking up for Palestine and for Palestinians. Luckily, with someone like Ms. Rachel, that seems utterly ludicrous.
But that tactic is actually in line with the Heritage Foundation's Project Esther, brought to you by the architects of Project 2025. They lay out their belief that criticizing Israel's policies is a thin veil for anti-Semitism, even though many people, including many Jewish Americans, disagree with that assertion. And these conversations about what constitutes anti-Semitism highlight a significant shift in public opinion.
For the longest time, the default position was basically one of sympathy towards Israel and suspicion towards Palestinians. For somebody like Ms. Rachel to come out and state that she is horrified by what is happening to Palestinian children is such an indication of how much public opinion has shifted. And people are fighting very, very hard for where that center lies.
Anti-Semitism is real, it's wrong, and it's dangerous. But the blowback against Ms. Rachel begs the question, what exactly is so controversial about advocating for the wellness of all children?
You clearly love kids. Is that why you decided to speak out about what's happening in Gaza, specifically with children?
I think it should be controversial to not say anything.
Did you also, like millions of other Americans, just seeing these horrific, tragic videos?
The idea that caring for a group of children in an emergency situation means you don't care about other children is false.
Are Palestinian children less human than other children? Should we care less about them? I don't quite get where the controversy is coming from.
It's sad that people try to make it controversial when you speak out for children that are facing immeasurable suffering.
I'm sure you have a lot of good people in your lives who are saying to you, just be quiet. It's not worth it. What do you say to them?
Our compassion doesn't have boundaries or borders. We just love kids.
Why do you feel this urge to speak out for Sudanese kids and Haitian kids, and right now, obviously, the kids who are suffering most in the world, the Gazan kids?
Silence wasn't a choice for me.
Whether or not you have toddlers, by now chances are you've heard about Ms. Rachel, the children's educator who's taken the world by storm. With more than 14 million subscribers on YouTube and billions of views worldwide, Ms. Rachel has become a superstar in children's entertainment, teaching them everything from how to sound out syllables to learning more about their emotions. But Ms. Rachel has not just garnered attention for her educational videos, she's become an outspoken advocate for children in Gaza who've been displaced, starved, injured, and killed in their thousands, more than 15,000 in Israel's offensive. After speaking out about the plight of Gaza's children, Ms. Rachel has been thrust into the center of some very unfair online controversy. And I'm delighted to say she joins me now. Rachel, thanks so much for joining us on the show. And I feel like I should introduce you as Rachel Accurso, your actual name.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful pronunciation.
I butcher everyone's names, so it's good. I'm just going to go with Miss Rachel, it's safer now. Before we get to Gaza, I've got to say, every parent who found out that I was interviewing you today, everyone I know, friends, family, who found out, Miss Rachel? I said, I'm interviewing Miss Rachel. They went crazy in a way that I've not seen people in my community, in my friends and family. I mean, I've interviewed Hollywood celebrities, world leaders. But when I said your name, I've not had a reaction like that. People are like, what, can I come? Can I be there? Can I see her? How have you become such a global phenomenon for kids and their parents in such a short space of time? Just last decade?
It was truly by accident, but I'm so privileged to be able to connect with so many little ones. And I just love my job, but We actually, when we started, we didn't know that so many kids watch YouTube.
Yeah.
I grew up with just regular TV, and we had like this thing where you turned it and you had like 3 channels. So I didn't know so many kids watched on YouTube, but I did know that I had trouble finding resources for my son, and he's such a visual learner. I thought that some of the things I was learning to help him would benefit other little ones. And I had him watch the show.
You say by accident, so I think you went on YouTube in 2016, a YouTube channel. So were you thinking that, okay, this is the best way to get to other kids, YouTube is the way forward?
No, I didn't know that. I just thought maybe I'll help some kids. And
how did you want to help them?
It wasn't like an overnight success. Well, I knew that my son really benefited from a slower paced show. I used to make him his own show. And actually I would take, like, he'd be watching a show he likes, and then I'd edit it and be like, it's mommy here to like teach you something. So anyway, I just knew that these methods I was learning to help him with a severe speech delay would benefit other kids, which are leaving space for them to answer and doing fill-ins like ready, set, go. That really helped him.
Liking this video? Then don't just watch, hit like, share and subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a video or live show. But if you want early access to exclusive content, then you have to head to zeteo.com and subscribe now. You'll be supporting fearless, independent journalism. You mentioned it wasn't an overnight success. Am I right in saying that the pandemic, the COVID, the lockdowns, that whole period, really, you just ramped up in that period? A lot of people came to find you then in that moment.
Well, I think so. I think people were home, and I think speech therapy was virtual, and it was tough, and some people didn't have access to it. I have to give a shout out to my amazing husband, because he was off of Broadway for 18 months, I believe. So we lived in his parents' basement, and we had a lot of...
The basement is the best place to produce content.
It was bigger than our apartment. So yes, and somebody was like, I'd love to come to your television studio. And I was like, it's my in-laws' basement. But yeah, so he had a lot of time, and he jumped in. He jumps into all my projects, whether they're successful or when they weren't successful at all. We've always done that for each other. So he used to help me with tracks for teaching music in public school and put everything into it for those kids, and it just hasn't changed. So
you were a school teacher at one point. Just for people who only know you from YouTube, what is your background? Have you always loved working with kids?
I have. So I started when I was 18. I was an assistant preschool teacher at a school for kids with disabilities, and they totally transformed me. I just loved it. I was like, just amazed that I could be excited to go into a job, and seeing their progress was so exciting. And it definitely, my supervisor said in a letter, you have a rare gift that I don't often see with kids. And I was like, oh, wow, like maybe I have a gift for this. And I knew that it felt like a calling for me. So I found other jobs working with kids, and eventually I studied to become a certified music teacher. And then I got another master's in early childhood, inspired by my little boy and the show, because I knew if I was going to be this teacher to kids in this crucial time, I wanted to have all the knowledge, early childhood knowledge I could.
And you have 2 kids now?
Yes, I do.
That's awesome.
My world.
You clearly love kids, not just your own. It's obvious to anyone who's seen you online and now meeting you in person. You have 2 kids of your own. Is that why you decided to speak out about what's happening in Gaza, specifically with children in Gaza, because of what's happening to the kids there?
I do think being a mother makes you put yourself in that situation. And I think my background in early childhood makes me think about that crucial brain development time of 0 to 3. So if you're being malnourished and you're seeing trauma and you're losing your family, that's a really crucial time of brain development. So I think about that. And then I think just empathy for all kids, which I've always had.
A lot of people, I know a lot of people, I've been covering the conflict professionally for 20 years. I've been following it since I was a teenager, something I've been interested in. But a lot of people I know came to the Middle East conflict, came to Gaza, Israel, after October 7th, seeing the horrors of what happened on October the 7th, and then seeing the horrors since. A lot of people came via Instagram, watching social media videos in their feeds of children under the rubble, missing limbs, kids mourning their parents, parents mourning their kids. And I'm just wondering, is it something you followed always, or did you also, like millions of other Americans, come to this via social media, just seeing these horrific, tragic videos in social media?
So I didn't know much before, and I was just horrified by October 7th. And then I just tried to listen and learn. And I still am doing that with friends and people. So I had been working with Save the Children prior. When the show became successful, I got an agent, and my agent was like, tell me about what you want to do. And I was like, I want to be connected to charities, and I want to do work helping children. So I got involved with Save the Children.
Great charity.
Yeah, and I was learning from their team and their CEO about a lot of things going on with children here in the U.S., food insecurity. I was learning about the Congo. She had just come back from there, and they asked me if I wanted to have a meeting with her, and I wanted to learn about that. And I just asked, like, what is a day like for kids there? And then she was in Gaza, and she came back, and they said, would you want to meet from her and hear what it's like for kids there? And I was like, definitely. So I heard from her, and I knew she was there, and she was describing what was happening firsthand. And then, of course, I did see the distressing, horrific images online. And of course, certain ones just stick in your head, and you just think about your own children. And so silence wasn't a choice for me.
Dare I ask, is there an image that does stick in your head? I interviewed Gary Lineker, who's a very famous footballer in the UK, and not a political person. And he's been speaking out a lot, and he's been criticized for it. And I remember interviewing him, and he said, I just sit on my own sometimes watching videos. I sit and cry. And I was like, wow, this kind of footballer, somebody you see is it's very emotional. I just wonder, I know there are things I've seen that I will never be able to unsee since in the last 18 months. I just wonder, was there one particular thing about a child? I don't know. I know you've posted about a lot of individual children.
Definitely.
But before you started posting about children, Rachal, I do want to come to some of the children you've connected with. But I'm interested in that moment in those few months after October 7th, when our feeds were just crazy. I'm just wondering, as someone who's just an ordinary American, not Ms.Rachal, the YouTube creator, was there something that just stopped you in your tracks?
There are multiple that I can't forget. There was a little boy who was really shocked, and he was shaking, and his eyes were there was so much terror in his eyes, and a healthcare worker was being so compassionate, and you see that compassion, and he finally was able to cry because he was just so shocked he couldn't even cry. And then Hindra Job's voice on the phone.
Yes. I'll
never forget. And I know some people can't even listen because it's so hard, and I think that's so understandable, but as just, her voice, and a little boy who was staring at the wall, who had lost his whole family and just was staring. And then there was a child in like a rainbow onesie, and my daughter has a rainbow onesie, and I had to give it away because, you just see that, and it just doesn't make any sense, because as grown-ups, we know what children need and what they deserve and what will help them grow into happy, healthy adults. And it will benefit us all. It's right to speak out because this is wrong, but it's also right to speak out because it's going to benefit everyone.
I'm going to ask you a difficult question. I had a friend of mine recently, I was talking to him, and he said his daughter got married, and he was at the wedding, and he said, all I could think about at the wedding was we're all enjoying and having great food and what's happening in Gaza, the way they're suffering. And I think about someone like yourself, and I've had the same experience as my wife. We've all had, we go to work, you come home, you think about all the stuff you've been covering. You work with kids. That's literally what you do. You entertain children. You make them laugh. You help them potty train. You see them at their most vulnerable, and you're doing that on YouTube. And then at the same time, you're speaking out and sharing videos and talking about. I think you wished. I saw a post of yours recently where you actually it would have been Hind Rajab's birthday. You're doing that at the same time. I'm just wondering how you're doing both.
You know, it's not easy, but I always think about what's going on over there, and then it becomes just something you have to do. As a teacher, you care about all kids, and I think so many years of teaching, you just see them all as so similar. They all love to laugh, and they love to learn, and they love to play, and they deserve to play. And they have human rights, and so you see them as so similar.
You mentioned Hind Rajab, which is one of the most shocking stories of the last 18 months. But you haven't just posted about Hind Rajab. I believe you've been in contact with her mum.
Her mom messaged me. It's crazy that with Instagram, people can message you, and so
I think that's how we first connected.
Yes, and I was delighted. It's crazy how on Instagram you can connect with moms, and actually little kids message me too. And I had one recently who lost her parents and siblings. She just has grandma.
Where?
Gaza.
In Gaza.
And she sent me a voice memo, and she's like, Ms.Rachal, can you stay with me? I don't have my family. And I voice messaged back like, I'm here, of course. Thanks for reaching out. And
you shared some pictures on your Instagram of meeting with a little girl from Gaza who came to see you.
Yes, Rahaf.
Rahaf, tell us about Rahaf.
Rahaf, I wish everyone in the world could meet her. She's so delightful. I gave her some gifts, and I gave her a box of rings, and right away she put one on me and everybody who was around. She was like, okay, here's one for me, now I'm gonna give one to everybody. She has the best laugh. When your children laugh, and their laugh is so cute, and she was squealing. And so we all started laughing because she was just so cute. And she falls a lot. She has 2 prosthetics, and she falls a lot. And I asked her host family and her mom through a translator, do you guys kind of spot her, or do you just let her fall? Because I know kids love to be independent. We all know kids are like, I want to do it myself, all by myself. Every kid says that. So they're like, no, just let her run around, and you don't have to spot her or anything. So she would fall on her face, and then she'd just pop up and want to hop like a bunny. And she was just so precious, and she was a vivid example of how when children have what they need, medical care, healthy food, support, they're going to thrive, and they're so resilient. And then somebody asked her mom what she wanted to say to me, and her mom talked a lot about her mental health improving with the show. And then I was shown pictures and videos of her in Gaza, on a hospital floor, and then her just kind of staring into space, looking down, and you can see the effect on her physical and mental health. And so you see, okay, we know what's not right for children, and now we see what is, and we can see it through images and video of her. And I told her mom, she's so bright, and she's just gonna do great. She's just, she's so worried about her. And the difficult thing is we're so joyful and hopping like bunnies and laughing so hard. And then Isra, her mom, grabs her phone and has her little boys on FaceTime. And her boys are adorable. I think they're around age 7 and 9. And they're in Gaza, and here I am thinking, trying to be sweet and talk to her boys in the Ms.Rachal voice, but I'm also what if my son was over there and my husband, and then I'm here with my little girl losing her legs, and then I'm thinking about the boys, and I was asking if there's any way they can come here. And this wonderful woman was saying, because I was asking kind of her to, she was translating, and I said, is there any way for them to come here? And she was saying no. And she was saying they don't eat anymore on FaceTime with them. Sorry.
No, it's a horrific situation.
And then the translator, I remembered she had said, like, thank you for seeing our children as human, when I had spoke out before. And so I want those little boys to have everything my little boy has. And their mom's a teacher like me. She's a math teacher.
Wow.
So we're both teachers, and our children are our world. A friend recently told me about a quote from Jewish text, which is, every life is a universe. And I wrote that down. I just thought it was so beautiful.
I mean, it's just basic empathy, humanity. It's crazy that's become controversial.
Yeah.
And you have spoken out about kids in Gaza. I've seen you speak about in Sudan. You mentioned the Congo a moment ago when you first started working with Save the Children.
Mm-hmm.
You've posted about kids from Israel who were taken hostage and killed horrifically. You've posted about all these things, but when you speak out about kids in Gaza, Palestinian children, some people, I should say a minority, go crazy. They think it's somehow controversial, it's divisive. And you said the word humanity. Are Palestinian children less human than other children? Should we care less about them? I don't quite get where the controversy is coming from. What you're doing is just so human.
It's sad that people try to make it controversial when you speak out for children that are facing immeasurable suffering. The largest cohort of child amputees in modern history. That acronym for a child who has no surviving relatives. And I think it should be controversial to not say anything.
You mentioned silence and how you really need to speak out. It's weird not to speak out. I'm sure you have a lot of good people in your lives, well-meaning friends and family, who are saying to you, just be quiet. It's not worth it. Think about yourself and your career and your family and your safe. Just shh. Don't go there. A lot of celebrities don't say anything about this stuff. What do you say to them?
Well, I say, what would you want someone to do if you were there? Because as a mother, I met Isra, Rahaf's mom, and if I was there and she was here, what would I want her to do? And that's why I want to talk about Rahaf all I can and the boys, because I have empathy. And I do also have the peace of God, which our show is not religious. And in my own life, though, I have the peace and strength of God that I feel. And so when things are like a roller coaster, I was on the roller coaster of this career. And I was on the roller coaster of the people saying you're wonderful, and then people saying those other things and accusations, and I was on that roller coaster, and I did step off, and now I kind of watch it, and I do feel the peace of God, and I just know what is right, and I just have to.
And yet, there is this kind of bad faith, persistent campaign against you. You've been attacked for speaking out about the children in Gaza. There have been hit pieces in right-wing media. There are some pro-Israel groups who've demanded the DOJ investigate you. I've seen that too, which sounds crazy. I just wonder, how does that make you feel? I mean, I'm used to this, sadly. I've been the subject of many hit pieces. What I do for a living, it's kind of like, it's not nice for anyone, but I'm kind of used to it. When I look at what you're going through, I wonder, it's a whole new world you've been pulled into over the last 18 months. How does that make you feel, you and your family, when you see the crap that's said about you by some bad faith people?
I've been shocked and hurt and scared. And the idea that caring for a group of children in an emergency situation means you don't care about other children is false. And I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. As teachers, I was a New York City public school teacher, and I care about every child in my class. I don't care about half of them because of where they were born. I care about all of them. And if some are in an emergency situation, I'm going to say, let's help them. And it doesn't mean I don't deeply care about all of them. And I love learning about their cultures, and something we are taught in education is to have children share their culture and have pride in who they are. And I, as a music teacher, I'm thinking of a concert we did where we did a Hanukkah song, a Jingle Bells type song, Christmas, and we did a Day of Eid song. And the parents in the audience were so happy, and they all felt valued. And that's what teachers do. We love our students. And recently somebody said I was out of my lane for talking about kids' human rights. And I was thinking, I'm an educator. We want our kids to have food. Educators, literally, I follow a lot of educators. They are having snacks in their room for kids that don't have food at home. They are getting a hairbrush, and they are brushing kids' hair at school. So when I saw the little girl on Instagram who, well, she can't brush her hair because of malnutrition, but we don't, our compassion doesn't have boundaries or borders. We just love kids. And I have connected and sat with a family member of whose family is held hostage right now. And I was moved to tears multiple times. It was horrific and harrowing. And I also put myself, as an empathetic person, I put myself in that situation. And it's just horrible.
I've also seen that you posted about the little Bibas kids who, what happened to them in Gaza, horrific. What do you say to people who say, and again, I don't want to make this sound like there's more than there are, but the small minority of people who want to cause trouble, who say that you're anti-Semitic because you want kids in Gaza to be able to eat and play?
It doesn't make sense. It's not true. I'm against any bigotry. And I've seen bigotry. It's horrible, and I'm so against it. The image of Shiri, so terrified holding those boys in like a wrap. That is seared in my mind forever as well. And I thought about them all the time. I just can't imagine what Yarden went through and is going through. And just like I said, things can be really divisive, but I focus on helping all kids.
And just on that note then, to wrap up.
I'm sorry I've cried 18 times. I mean, it's a really sad topic.
It is a sad topic, and I'm sorry to be the guy who's taken Ms.Rachal away from the happy YouTube. But as you say, silence is not an option. For those of us who care about humanity, forget the politics. I've interviewed many people about the politics of the Middle East. I have no interest in talking to you about the politics of the Middle East. But I do want to hear from a children's educator and a person who children love. The fact that you're telling me that kids in Gaza are sending you voice memos, that you are looked up to, not just by kids in New York or DC, but kids around the world. And of course, then you're going to speak out for them. That just makes sense. And we admire you for doing so. And I just want to be clear to people watching at home. You've spoken out about Sudan. I know you've posted about Haiti and Mali, right? Again, I'm going to ask the question earlier just to wrap up. Why is it that you feel that you, the YouTube star from New York City, the United States, from Maine, why do you feel this urge, and I say this in a good way, I'm glad you do, to speak out for Sudanese kids and Haitian kids, and right now, obviously, the kids who are suffering most in the world, the Gazan kids?
I do think it's a calling from God. When I was little, I used to ask my mom why kids didn't have food, because we'd see those commercials. And I thought maybe there wasn't enough food. And as I've studied world hunger, realizing that there is enough food, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I've been blessed to have to get this platform. And kids feel that I care about them all deeply, and that's why I have the platform, because they feel it through the screen, because it's genuine, and kids know when things aren't genuine.
Yes.
And that care doesn't end with the kids that are watching or any kids. It's just they feel it. And then early childhood educators are always advocating for kids 0 to 3 because of the crucial time of brain development and the effects that will last a lifetime if kids don't have what they need. And then just my heart and my religious beliefs do come into play, with Jesus saying to love every neighbor and that everyone's your neighbor, and that when you do things to the least of these, you do them to him, meaning like, people who are poor and oppressed and suffering. So,
well, I for one am glad that you're using your YouTube platform
in
this way. And
thank you so much.
And I'm just going to say arrogantly on behalf of our viewers and subscribers, thank you so much. I'm going to speak for everyone watching and say thank you for speaking out. We need more people to speak out. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me on your wonderful network.
As we reported a few weeks ago, the Israeli military announced plans to demolish a children's soccer field in the Ida refugee camp in Bethlehem in the occupied West Bank. A global support campaign paired with political pressure on international professional football figures this week forced the Israelis to suspend the demolition. Beloved children's television entertainer Ms.Rachal lent her support to the children in Ida camp, speaking with them recently and hearing their stories about their fight to save their field and how they deserve to play and be safe.
It's Ms.Rachal. I'm so happy to see you in your beautiful soccer field. We are going to do everything we can to help save the field, and that every child has the right to play soccer, and that you deserve to have your wonderful field.
وإحنا ما بدنا يهدموا ملعبنا وبدنا نلعب بأمان لأن هذا حلمنا. شكرا إنك تضامنتي معنا، إحنا بنحبك كثير. لما شفتك واقفة معنا شعرت إننا مش لحالنا وإحنا بنحب نوصل صوتنا لكل العالم. والملعب كثير مهم لإلنا لأنه بنلاقي فيه أصدقائنا اللي بنحبهم وبنلعب معهم. شكرا إنك واقفة معنا.
We are so sad about what's happening in the field and what's happening in the camp. Thank you for supporting us and standing with us, and thank you so much. We love you.
I am so proud to be one of the people supporting you, and I know we've heard from some really, really big things are happening, and I really believe in my heart that the field will be saved. Ana behebek.
Ms.Rachal stated on her Instagram, along with that video, quote, "It was an honor to listen to them and hear how much it means to them that the world is rallying around them. The people hear them and the people know what is right and what is wrong. Taking joy from kids is wrong. Dehumanizing kids is wrong. Saying some kids get to play and some don't is wrong. Listen to the children." On Tuesday, it was reported that the president of FIFA, the International Soccer Federation, along with his European counterpart, intervened, suspending the field's demolition at least for the time being, with the final decision now resting with the Israeli government. Mohammed Abu Srour, the director of the youth center at the Ida pitch, told The Athletic that, quote, "This is a huge success for the campaign, but we are still concerned about what could be the final political decision of the matter. We still haven't received official confirmation from the army." Here is Mohammed Abu Srour on Tuesday.
I think it is just news till now. We did not have any official papers or decisions that reached us through our lawyer or through any letter from the FIFA or the European Federation for Football, the UEFA. I would say that we will be so happy if this intervention stop demolishing our playground. Our campaign would continue. We will continue our campaign to stop demolishing our playground. But till now, we are asking the FIFA or the Wi-Fi to send us an official letter that the Israeli occupation would freeze or stop demolishing our playground.
Following the news that the soccer field would not be demolished, Ms.Rachal posted a follow-up video for the kids in Ida camp.
You saved the soccer field. I want to say the biggest congratulations ever to the kids at Ada Camp and the grown-ups there. They got this petition going. They got 350,000 signatures. They created a challenge for people to do with 10 kick-ups or something. I'm sorry, I'm not the best at sports, but I know so many people commented, shared, signed the petition. When people come together, they can make amazing things happen because we all know what's right and wrong, and why would you destroy something that means so much to kids who have been through so much already? It just doesn't make any sense, and we all know it doesn't make sense, and we all came together. So everyone coming together caused FIFA and UEFA to intervene, and the Israeli government is now not going to destroy the soccer field. I'm just so proud of everyone. And the kids, you did it, you did it, you did it. I'm so proud of you. And it was so wonderful meeting you the other day on the Zoom call.
That was Ms.Rachal. It is certainly good news for Ida Camp and its children, but as our colleague Abu Bakr Abed commented, Palestinians in Gaza have been screaming at the top of their lungs to the same sports bodies to take any boycott actions against Israeli teams and to stop the annihilation of the people in Gaza, including more than 800 athletes and the destruction of hundreds of sports facilities. They have so far been met with silence.
I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, jump, clap. I'm so happy today. Jump, clap, spin, stomp, stomp, hey. I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, and nothing's gonna bring me down today.
I can sing and dance.
I can hang out with my friends.
I can draw a picture of the sky.
I can spin around.
I can go upside down.
Even if it's hard, I wanna try.
I wanna try. I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, jump, clap.
I'm so happy today. Jump, clap, spin, stomp, stomp, hey. I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, and nothing's gonna bring me down today.
What if it rains?
No, 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 I can dance in the rain.
What if it's cold?
I'll have hot chocolate to drink.
What if you fall?
It's okay, I can get back up.
E-I-E-I-O.
Joy isn't on that farm.
I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, E-I-E-I-O.
Jump, clap, spin, stomp, stomp, hey. I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy,
E-I-E-I-O.
nothing's
And
gonna
cluck, everywhere cluck, cluck. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. This is up, this is up. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a sheep, E-I-E-I-O. With a ba-ba here and a ba-ba there, here a ba, there a ba, everywhere a ba-ba. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. This is up, this is up, and this is down. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a duck, E-I-E-I-O. With a quack, quack here and a quack, quack there, here a quack, there a quack, everywhere a quack, quack. Old MacDonald had a farm,
on the bus say, I love you, I love you, I love you. The daddies on the bus say, I love you, all through the town. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down, daddies on the bus say, I love you, I love you, I love you. The daddies on the bus say, I love you. Oh, the city is great and the city is grand. There are lots of tall buildings on a little piece of land, and we live way up on the 57th floor. This is what we do when we go out the door. All through the town. We take the elevator up, take the elevator down, take the elevator up, take the elevator down, take the elevator up, take the elevator down. Then we turn wheels on the bus, go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town, all through the town, all through the town. Take the elevator up, take the elevator down, take the
Mash bananas, mash, mash bananas, mash bananas, mash, mash bananas, bananas, eat bananas, eat bananas, eat bananas, oh bananas! That was so
take
fun.
the elevator
Good
up,
job.
take the elevator down, take the elevator up, take the elevator down, take the elevator up, take the elevator down, then we turn around. Take the elevator up, take the elevator down, take the elevator up, take the elevator down, take the elevator up, take the elevator down, then we turn around. Orange, yellow, green,
Bananas unite.
indigo,
Peel bananas, peel, peel bananas, peel bananas, peel, peel bananas, chop bananas, chop, chop bananas, chop bananas, chop, chop bananas, mash bananas, mash, mash bananas.
I love a rainbow.
Bananas, mash, mash
I
bananas,
love a rainbow.
eat bananas, eat
I love a
bananas,
rainbow.
eat bananas, eat bananas. Go bananas! That was so fun. Great job.
Indigo, violet. I love a rainbow. I love a rainbow. I love a rainbow. Oh, oh, oh. Red. I love a rainbow. Yellow. I love a rainbow. I love a indigo, violet.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue.
The other side, many weak men lied. They came to God in secret, and though they left him nourished, they would not tell who healed. Though mountains danced before them, laugh within my mind. Yes, I mean my mind to serve till services of magic.